Good morning. It's Friday, February 25th, 2022. I'm Carmine Smith Jr.
And I'm Sage Lewis.
And welcome to Panther News Network. Here's what's going on today. Kamala V. Williams, PhD, the manager of Prairie View A&M University Northwest Houston Center, has collaborated with Petra A. Robinson, PhD, and Maja Stankovic, a professor and doctoral student at Louisiana State University, to edit and release Global Citizenship for Adult Education, Advancing Critical Literacies for Equity and Social Justice. The landmark book focuses on how to promote equity and social justice through global citizenship and lifelong learning while integrating the development of critical literacies, includes contributions from more than 40 writers from Africa, Asia, Europe, Latin America, and North America. How can enhanced literacies really improve social justice and equity on a global scale? William explains that it all begins with recognizing how the concept of literacy has changed and continues to evolve in a global, technological, connected village. While global literacy is essential to critically examine world issues, it is paramount to move beyond mere discussion of its importance to using it for the advancements of equity and social justice, she writes. The book is now released everywhere. Make sure you all purchase this book if you are interested in reading and learning more about how global literacy can help change social justice as we know it today.
Breaking news. The three officers, J. Alexander Ewing, Thomas Lane, and Tu Theo, are finally charged with depriving Floyd of his civil rights while acting under government authority. On May 25, 2020, the three officers had each convicted a crime by physically abusing, suffocating an innocent black man, George Floyd. Ewing and Theo were convicted of not interfering to stop former police Derek Chauvin for shoving his knee aggressively in Floyd's back. At first, the three officers pleaded not guilty, but now Theo, King, and Lane were each faced up to life in prison. Although such a survey punishment is unlikely, the men are scheduled for trial in June on state charges of aiding and abetting murder and manslaughter. According to Floyd's brother, this is just accountability, and it can never be justice because I can never get George back. Floyd's brother said at a news conference Thursday afternoon, and no matter how many times that I pray at night and I think about my brother 24/7, it is still going to be hard. This month-long trial began deliberating Wednesday morning in closing arguments. Prosecutors said that the defendants had front row seats to Floyd's murder and chose to do nothing to help him while Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. They chose not to aid George Floyd as the window into which Mr. Floyd's life could have been saved slammed shut. Assistant U.S. Attorney Manda Serthrich said Tuesday defense attorneys argued that the men did not receive adequate training and that they relied on Chauvin as the most experienced officer on the scene. These officers tried to devise any excuse that could let them wash the blood from their hands. But following these verdicts, George's blood will forever stain them. Ben Crump and the other attorneys representing Floyd's family said in a statement after the verdict was announced, "Today's guilty verdicts should serve as a guiding example of why police departments across America should expand and prioritize instruction on an officer's duty to intervene and recognize when a fellow officer is using excessive force." The officers had responded to a call about a counterfeit bill from a convenience store in Minneapolis, Powderhorn Park neighborhood, when they encountered Floyd, 46 years old, May 25, 2020. Lane and Kuhn, both rookie officers and partners on the call, were on top of Floyd as Chauvin applied deadly pressure to Floyd's neck and he gasped for air. Theo had been charged of crowd control last year. A jury convicted Chavon on estate murder and manslaughter charges. In December, he pleaded guilty to violating Floyd's civil rights and is awaiting sentencing in the federal case. He remains in prison on a 22-and-a-half-year sentence for the state case, one of the longest imposed on a police officer for killing in the line of duty.
Now here's a story from Jamaica Johnson.
Of the event. Employers across the nation traveled here to participate and offer their resources to students involved. I had the opportunity to interview one of the leaders who helped organize this student event. Here's what she had to say. Can you expound on the importance of career fairs at colleges and universities?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, students are coming to universities and colleges with their career goals in mind. They're here to get the skills that they want, to be able to get jobs. And so the career fairs and internships are really useful because they're talking about the internship opportunities, employment opportunities that they have. They're communicating with students about their resumes and the skills that they need to get really good jobs. And a lot of students are walking away with those connections and that networking, and they're leaving with information about potential jobs that they might have in the future. So.
Students gathered here today at the Don K. Clark Building, also known as Juvenile Justice, to gain professional exposure and development that will aid in their careers after graduation. Jamaica Johnson, KPVU-TV.
Afeni Shakur, formerly known as legendary rappers Tupac Shakur's mother, is apparently expecting a biopic about her legendary life, being a political and social activist and former Black Panther member. The biopic is executive produced by former actress and singer and close friend of Shakur, Jasmine Guy. Guy, who also wrote the biography of Afeni Shakur, Evolution of a Revolutionary, is executive producing with Jamal Joseph, who was arrested alongside Afeni as one of the Panther 21. Dina LaPope, who has worked with Shakur Estate for years, is also producing the biopic. It is so important to get the stories of this woman who made the movement. We see so many Black Panther Party films about the men essential to history. It's past time to see how crucial women were. Guy mentions that I was honored when Afeni asked me to be an author about her biography. Now I have the opportunity to honor her life and legacy on the screen, and I am very excited to share her remarkable story this way. Afeni Shakur also wanted Jasmine Guy to write her book and produce the biopic. The Shakur estate could not imagine doing Afeni's biopic without Jasmine being involved. The movie is currently in the early stages of development with a rough summary. There is no writer, director, or studio attached right now.
And in breaking news, Russia has launched a full-scale military attack on Ukraine that opened with air and missile attacks on Ukrainian military facilities before troops and tanks rolled across the borders from the north, east, and south. The Ukrainian military has fought back on multiple fronts. The Ukrainian president said in a video address early on Thursday that 137 people, both servicemen and civilians, have been killed and hundreds more wounded. Russia's assault quickly spread across central and eastern Ukraine as Russian forces attacked the country from three sides, by land, sea, and air. The Russia-Ukraine war is an ongoing armed conflict that began in February 2014. The conflict initially centered on the status of Crimea and parts of the Donbas, which are internationally recognized as parts of Ukraine. On Thursday, President Biden unveiled harsh new sanctions on Russia meant to punish the country for its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, calling out Russian President Vladimir Putin for his aggression, even as he acknowledged it would take time for the new measures to alter Putin's behavior. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences, Biden said, laying out a set of measures that will impose severe costs on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time. Now here's the weather report from Michael Hawkins.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. So today it's about 35 degrees outside, so make sure you wear your jackets. In the morning, we'll have just a little bit chance of rain. Later in the evening, we'll have more, and overnight, we'll see the temperature go just to about 40. So make sure you bring your umbrellas and make sure you bring your jackets. And I'll pass it back to you, Carmine.
Thank you, Micah. Wow, gotta make sure we staying warm because it's cold. Two of Prairie View A&M University's track and field teams won Southwestern Athletic Conference championships for the women's indoor field team. It was their consecutive SWAC championship during the two-day event. Coach Angela Williams was named Women's Coach of the Year, and Coach Chris Clay was also named Men's Coach of the Year. The women's team finished with a 133 overall score, and the men's team completed their 22 SWAC crown finish with a total of 120 points. Congratulations on a very successful indoor season, and we at Panther News Network and KPVU-TV wish you the best of luck this upcoming season.
Okay. In today's HBCU news, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings and his wife, producer Patty Colin, announced Monday that they are donating $10 million to fund scholarship programs at the HBCU Tougaloo College in Mississippi. Half of the donation money will provide financial aid for students studying medicine, public health, sciences, education, and many others. During the announcement, Hastings has mentioned that HBCU stories have been the paramount roles of success in many Black leaders, and the investment is a big investment into America. HBCUs have been vastly undervalued for a long time, Hastings, Gulling said in a joint statement Monday. They have an incredible track record of graduating so many Black leaders across the United States, doctors, lawyers, and engineers, and more. By investing in the extraordinary students who attend Tougaloo and Brown, we're investing in America's future. $5 million total will fund the scholarships at Tougaloo, and $5 million will establish the Brown-Tougaloo partnership. Scholarships funds at Brown, Quollen, and Hastings, who has a net worth about $4 million through Netflix stock holdings, have a long history of supporting financially disadvantaged Black and Latino students. That started 25 years ago in the formation of the KIPP Foundation, which runs a national network of tuition-free charter schools serving low-income communities of color. Tougaloo President Carmen J. Walters said the funds will provide crucial need-based scholarships to talented undergraduates, including many who continue to contend with the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic. The remarkable personal gift to the historic Brown-Tougaloo partnership from philanthropists Reed Hastings and Patricia Quollen will transfer the lives of Tougaloo College students. Walters said in a statement,
We will be right back after this commercial break.
Good morning, everyone. We're back with KPVU-TV's The Calm, Coco Shikari, and Cameron Smith. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. And so I just want to ask you a couple questions about your experience. The first one being, how do you like hosting The Calm?
you want to go?
I love it. It's something I never thought I would be doing. When I got asked, I knew I had to. So I love the experience, and I'm doing it with my girl, Coco.
For sure. I can honestly say the experience has been nothing short of amazing. I've been learning along the way, which is a good thing because, you know, sometimes you think that like, okay, you got this in the bag, but then when you actually get into the situation, the environment, it's like, oh my gosh, maybe I didn't know as much as I did. But as far as like getting in there and getting it done, I absolutely love.
That's great. So would you say, I know you just talked about, you know, when you first came in, you said you thought it was going to be, you know, a bit easier and then you got in. So what would you say is your biggest challenge? And you can go ahead and start.
I think my biggest challenge is just really staying focused and staying mindful. I know that like when it comes to like our interview questions and things like that, sometimes we have to come up with them like really quickly and it has to be juicy and it has to be engaging and you have to bring your character and it has to, you know, so it's a lot in one, but I think that we manage that very well. I think that also a challenge is making sure that me and him are connecting, even though we connect anyway. But when it's on screen, you have to make sure like the vibe is there, the love is there, and we have to be engaged.
And I think the challenge for us was to actually hang out outside of the TV studio. So like we started just going out to eat more, just hanging out and like feeling each other's personality so that
Chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry, so that our audience could feel our chemistry, you know.
I definitely understand that. So what was your initial reaction, and you can start, Cam, when you first heard that the show was going to be aired?
March or our show?
Your show.
I was jumping up for joy, honestly, because mind you, we were on break, so I got the call, and they're like, yeah, we're putting together a show, and we want you two to host, and I'm like, because I never had really done anything like this, or to this extent, so when I got that call, it was just like, oh, wow, thank you for answering my prayers. Yeah, I was super excited.
What about you?
I literally was yelling. I was yelling. Josh called me and was like, you want to be on this show that we're doing for the CW? I'm like, what? He's like, you want to be on this show? Yes! Like, yeah. I don't know. I remember being on the phone and TDV was on FaceTime with us, and I was literally yelling, and she was looking around like, is she yelling? Yes, I'm yelling. I was so excited just to have this experience, especially because one day I do want to be a television host with my own show. So I feel like this is definitely great cushion, great experience. It's been amazing.
That's great. You guys both got, your opportunity to jump in. So, like you just talked about, you want to do this in the future. So what's one thing that you think, one lesson that you took away that you know will carry with you when you are a talk show host?
I think always being adaptable and always being relatable, I think, is the one thing or the two things that I will always take with me, because you never know who's necessarily watching, and all of our interviewees, when they come, they're all different people. So you have to, be able to relate to them, talk to them in a way that they can understand and resonate, So I think that that's like my biggest thing, other than being uniquely myself. I remember the first show, we were very uptight, like, oh my gosh, like, are we supposed to be Oprah? Are we supposed to, give that much? But they're like, just calm down, like, give yourself, give you, be you. So I think we're progressively working on that, but it's been getting better, for sure.
That's great. That's great advice. I'll take that myself. So what about you, Cam?
Like my girl Coco said, adaptability for one would be like my biggest one, because you really have to learn to move or learn to be flexible, because you just never know what happens. Like when we walk in the studio, we don't know, and like we just have to like be ready to move quickly and just be adaptable. And they might say, our guest might not show up. We have to learn to, how we gonna put on a show real quick, and also just being authentically myself. I struggle with. I don't want to say confidence, but I put up a shield a lot, and people were like, Cam, you have a big personality. Show your personality, and it scares me to show my personality, but the show has really helped me and my friend.
Even though he's amazing.
She's really helped me on my show.
You guys are both great. You guys are both great.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. So, Coco Shikari, I know you had an interview with your mom, right? She was on the show.
Yes.
So, tell me about that, to just like, connect with your mom on screen. What was that like?
Oh, Lord. So when I was hoping that she would get up there and, be herself, but she got up there and was just such a fan. He's like, yeah, I go to Clark. I'm like, oh gosh, now listen, you're on PV Stomping Grounds, okay? We love Clark, Clarky Clark, but you're at PVA. But she definitely, I don't know. I think it was crazy, like a whole turnaround moment, because she also studied communications when she was in school, marketing and communications when she was in school. So it was like a full circle moment, seeing my mom up there. This is what she used to do. This is what I'm doing now. And I think it just, I don't know. It was very exciting. It was very exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a great experience. So can you all remind us of what day and time we can watch the comm?
You can watch the comm this Sunday at 8:05. At first, it was on Mondays, but you guys are able to watch on Sunday at 8:05 p.m. Also, we have a live audience, so if you guys want to come, watch us live, you're also welcome to do that.
Get a first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for taking your time out of your day. We will be back after this commercial break.
Fuck, boy.
PVU Vice President is for enrollment and management according to the Dallas Morning News. Everybody has the ability to get some type of post-secondary education. Malik Childs, 19 years old, worked throughout high school to save as much money as he could for college. Because he graduated in the top 10% of Mesquite High School's graduating class in 2020, Childs was guaranteed automatic admission to nearly all state universities. But he still experienced a hesitation that many encounter with transitioning into college. Family obligations often mean some top grads have to care for a parent or a sibling or work to support the household, he said. So leaning into a full-time job was tempting for Childs. But his desire to change the situation regarding the scarcity of black doctors throughout the county motivated him more. Currently a sophomore at the University of North Texas in Dallas. Childs later explained that he wants to attend medical school. Childs mentioned that everybody thinks of that now versus the later, but my parents instilled in me to focus on the future. Childs said, I just always knew that I would make more money by going to school versus working at a regular job. State officials worry that too many of Texas' top students of color like Childs are attending and graduating college. Before the COVID pandemic had hit in 2020, it was nearly 17% of the state's black students and 16% of Latinos who graduated in the top 10% of their classes not only skipped a state school, but also didn't show up enrolled at any other colleges or universities in the country, said Harrison Killer. The Texas Commissioner of Higher Education, by prediction, about 10% of white students didn't show up in enrollment data nationwide. These are students who've done everything they were asked to do, he said. They want academic awards qualified for automatic admission to our Texas universities. And then they didn't enroll directly out of high school. The Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board intends to study how trends have shifted for the state's top students since the pandemic started in 2020. The state is now working with the Greater Houston Partnership, a chamber of commerce that represents the larger Houston area, Purview A&M, the University of Houston Downtown, and other colleges in that region to pilot online tools aimed at streaming information or financial aid for admissions for students.
In entertainment, famous rapper Kanye West had premiered his 12th studio album entitled Down to 2 on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. The premiere featured live acts Pusha T, Migos, Jack Harlow, Playboi Carti, Alicia Keys, and Marilyn Manson. This album is highly anticipated following the episode of Kanye's Netflix docuseries Genius, as well as his Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson drama. Kanye's docuseries follows the early days of his career and shows the drive and hunger that he possessed to get him to become the artist and person he is today. Make sure you follow Kanye on his socials to make sure you're updated on him releasing his new album, Down to 2. Amidst his docuseries, Kanye has also been in the news for beefing with Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend, Pete Davidson. After several posts from Kanye, all eyes have been on him to see what he will do next. Kanye has said the only way to listen to his new album is to purchase his stem player. That is apparently the only medium he is releasing his music on, so therefore, you have to buy the stem player to listen to his new music. Now here's a story from Haley Spivey.
At Prairie View A&M University, Wednesdays are hump days on the Hill. While hump day is going on outside, entrepreneurs are selling their products here in the MSC. Every Wednesday, we see multiple Black businesses, and I got the opportunity to speak to some of the owners. Here's what they had to say.
My name is DJ. The name of my business is Amir Couture. I've been selling my products here since last semester. This is my second semester selling here. Really, I just always been into fashion growing up, and I wanted to finally, do something and make it my own, and like put my own style into something for other people to enjoy as well. Yeah, for sure. So basically, I make hoodies, sweatshirts, shorts, t-shirts, and I make all the designs myself, pretty much. And I always try to make sure my material is up to par with even like high fashion brands and stuff like that. Because I don't want anybody, I don't want you to wear my stuff and then not want to wear it again. And when you wash it, it's like not as good as it used to be and all that. Like over here, these are my new sweatsuits and all that right here. And again, I just try to make the highest quality of everything. Make sure it's warm, make sure it's comfortable for everybody.
Hello, how you guys doing? Well, my name is Derica Johnson. The owner actually is right here, Dalen Thompson. The business name is Wavers at Heart. We sell pretty much custom hair gear, so bonnets, do-rags, headbands, head ties, pretty much anything that you would need for your hair care journey. And then we started the business in 2017. We really got started in 2018. I think we started selling here at Prairie View since maybe 2019, so for a couple years now. Well, really, it was just trying to figure out what he wanted to do and what he could really connect with. And he really loved hair, so any different type of hair. And then he just really saw how everybody really had a connection with their hair, and he wanted to kind of bring those two together. So he started this business where people can have some really stylish headgear and accessories to rock on a day-to-day basis. Over here we have some custom bonnets. We have the long bonnets and the regular size bonnets for like your locks, your braids and things like that. We also have glasses, we have headbands and head ties. We also have socks over there, the full ski masks, as well as do-rags and brushes. So pretty much, like I said before, everything that you would need for your hair care.
This is Sakina Body Care, a Black-owned business that sells multiple items, including skincare products, perfumes, soaps, clothes, and many more.
Hello, Panthers. My name is Miss Denisha Henderson, and I am accompanied here by my student worker, Miss
Angelica Williams.
And we are here doing an open house for health services. Health services is comprised of disability services, medical services, counseling services, and which are the Hilltop Reserve. We have recently moved into our home, the Owens Franklin Health Center, and a lot of students are not aware of where we are located and all the wonderful services that we provide. So we have a table here. We are giving out free popcorn, free goodies, all kinds of things. Come sign up, enjoy, come visit us whenever you need us. And as always, follow us on social media. We have plenty of giveaways to give out.
If you would like to support these Black-owned businesses here in the MSC, please come and visit them on Wednesdays. I'm Haley Spivey, and this was Panther News Network.
And that concludes our show this morning. Be sure to catch us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. This was Panther News Network. I'm Carmine Smith Jr.
And I'm Sage Lewis.
And we're signing out. Thank you for tuning in this morning.